their faces.
All right, we are live here at Fish North, Georgia. Welcome to the live well this Thursday night. We are so glad you guys could tune in. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, click that notification bell. And if you're watching at a later date, hey, we love you too. Make sure you follow FNGO or Fish North Georgia on all our social media platforms. Got a great show for you guys tonight. The National Professional Fishing League kicking off their 25 season, and we've got three of our best friends from the NPFL, Wroblewski, Will Harkins, and Richard Ke, piping in from on location. There you see their ugly mugs right there. We're going to be talking to them tonight about the tournament, and then, of course, we're going to get into springtime bass fishing. So if you got your comments and questions, bring them on. I'm going to say this one time, though. I want to make sure it's clear to everybody watching. We all know about the info rule in professional fishing. So nobody make any comments about what's going on Santee right now or anything like that, because I like all three of these guys, and we're not going to get them DQ'd because of something that happened on this show. So we'll talk about the tournament in generalities and the season that's upcoming and the springtime bass fishing. But make sure you guys be responsible in the comment section tonight. Absolutely. And keep that in mind, because these are all great friends of the show. And I sure don't want them coming down here to Fish North, Georgia, being mad at us because we got them in trouble. So as long as everybody understands that, we're going to kick and get started. Let's go ahead and hit our sponsors right there. Trent Palmer and the guys over at Sonar Pros, 770-530-4505, the official sonar installer of the live well. Guys, take your boat where the pros take theirs and get it done right the first time. And that's Trent and the guys at Sonar Pros off Highway 369. And then we got our buddy Kevin Underwood with Lip Sticker Fishing, 678-459-8419. Kevin at lipstickerfishing.com. Check out his Patreon. You like it right there.
Yeah, he dropped a good one yesterday.
Yes,
sir.
Just kind of tell everybody what exactly you get with that.
So if he'll take you fishing on the boat with him, show you everything he's doing, where he's doing it, down to like showing you on the map. He'll show you the baits, conditions, and just run down through.
Worth the money.
I like it, yeah.
Worth the money. So that's patreon.com/lipstickerfishing. Then we got our buddies over at Evolve Fishing. Evolve Rod Sleeves, the best rod sleeve on the market. They float. They got all the little safety features and gizmos on it, but the best thing about it is you chunk them in that rod locker with all your other rods, and you don't have to worry about that mess at the Chinese finger lock. The rod sleeves, I mean, it is a mess when you get them in there. You ain't got to deal with that with Evolve. We got them here at Fish North, Georgia, or check them out at evolvefishing.com. And then because the man is on the show himself, the absolute best plug knocker, or however you want to call it, on the market, the Money Saver Lure Retriever. I'm telling you guys, shoots through the water like a torpedo. There's none other. We got him here at Fish North, Georgia, with Mr. Richard Ke that's with us tonight. This is his product right there. And so we might even talk about that a little bit. So one of the best things about it is we spend so much money on all these plugs and baits, You want what's going to get them back when you get them hung, and we will get them hung, and that's the Money Saver Lure Retriever. And then we got our buddy, Mr. Bill Payne, the legend. Bill Payne's Guide Service on Lake Allatoona, 706-280-2305, specializing in Allatoona, seasonal smallmouth trips. He also does sonar trips. If you want to get your equipment set up right and know exactly what you're looking at, Mr. Bill Payne's the guy for you, 706-280-2305. And then, of course, on Lake Lanier, spotted bass. If you want to know how to catch them, where to catch them, why they're there, anything about that, Brooks Anderson Fishing. Our buddy Brooks specializes in high school and college younger anglers trying to get their careers started. He's got a great YouTube channel, Brooks Anderson Fishing on YouTube. One of the best, nicest guys in the business, and that's Brooks Anderson Fishing. Check him out right there, too. Let's go ahead and do Fishers of Hope tonight, too. We'll do that. And, of course, their mission is to glorify God, be servants of his word, to bring those in need to peace and hope that only he can bring. I tell you about it all the time. Fishing tournaments to help people in need. And that's something that I wish everybody would get involved with and support them. Check them out on Facebook. You can also reach out to them, Fishers of Hope Ministry at gmail.com. And currently they're trying to help a young lady out who I believe it's liver cancer. They're going to put a tournament together to help her out. We need more people like Fishers of Hope in this world. So definitely support them. Now scroll on down, Tony. Oh, let's do Turner Tire real quick. And then I'm jumping the gun. Right behind me, let's go, Water. Buddies at Turner Tire, 706-253-3339. If you're in the Jasper, Georgia area, tires and alignment, they're the best family-owned business. It's where I get my tires. Tell the guys at Fish North Georgia sent you. Brock and the guys over there, absolutely fine, upstanding people. Now, I want to tell you guys about an event coming up March 20th, especially those of you that are guides. Okay, anybody can come, but definitely, what you looking at, Josh? In the background out there, smiling. Is something wrong? Huh? That is a cord somewhere. I don't know where that cord's coming from. Probably where you hit that thing over there or something. Yeah. Right there. Yeah. Coming off that light. Josh is looking at a cord right there. But anyway, seriously, Fishing Industry Night at Cherry Street Brewery, Thursday, March 20th, 5:30 to 8:30. We are going to be there with the guys at Cherry Street and Digital Sports, man. Let me tell you why this is a great event. Number one, they're going to be showing our episode of the Real American Road Trip where the guys at Cherry Street took us out and we fished with them. That's going to be airing at some point during the night. Also, too, Digital Sportsman's going to be there, and they're going to be showing everybody, especially if you're a guide, this app, this booking app that they are coming up with. And it is free for guides. You need to come just hang out with us. Let them kind of tell you about everything and, get you signed up for sure with that. And for the best part about it is Digital Sportsman's going to be providing an open bar from 5:30 to 8:30. So you guys come out, hang out with us. We're going to network. You guys will get you signed up. If you're not a guide and you just want to hang out with the crowd, come hang out with us. It's at the Halcyon, which is, I think, off McFarland Road or right down there. So 6640 Town Square, Alpharetta, Georgia, 3005. It's going to be a good time. Cherry Street's got some good adult beverages. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys mark your calendar.
And real quick about Kevin, too. He is taking one subscriber a month on the boat with him now.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
So you might get a free trip with Lipsticker.
So how do you get that? Is it a drawing?
I don't know how he does it, honestly.
Okay. We'll figure it out. So, all right. So there you go. Now let's talk fishing. Let's pull up our boys right there. There's Rob, Will, and Richard. So guys, how you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
There you go. So got people in the comments, everybody saying hello. 2025 NPFL season. All right, it's going to be a little bit different. We know the rule change. You guys are going old school fishing. I don't care who answers it. All three of you can answer it. How do you feel about that? You looking forward to it?
No.
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 And be honest. Be honest about it.
Us three guys have put a lot of time over the last couple of years crafting and mastering live scope, and then for it to be kind of taken away, it kind of stinks. But at the same time, listen, we both three signed up to fish this year, knowingly that the live scope was going to be banned, and then we're up for the challenge. We know that the field has greatly became. I mean, this is probably the best field that we've ever gone against, with a bunch of the elite guys coming in. and other guys from other series and stuff like that. So it's a challenge for all of us. It's going to definitely be an equal playing field, in my opinion. No one's going to be out there in the middle of offshore scoping and that kind of thing. So it's going to be power fishing, the grind thing. It's going to be exciting. We'll see what happens this year. I know personally, I'm just taking it 1 year at a time and see how this year goes, and then we'll see what happens. I'm not going to talk for them too. So,
well, let them two jump in there. Will, how do you feel about it? You're being the youngster. You're not supposed to be able to catch fish without scope anyway, son. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's primarily the reason I'm back, to kind of prove that point wrong. And really, live scope is an awesome tool, but we've still got side scan, we've still got 360, we've still got down scan. Like, offshore fishing is not going anywhere. The only thing that live scope does, it takes away your bait ball fishing, and it takes away, I guess, your more precise casts to structure. Other than that, you can still see structure with 360. If you maintain really good waypoints and all, you can still run a lot of the same offshore stuff. So yes, it's going to be different. It's going to be a little harder, but offshore fishing isn't going anywhere.
Okay, good. Now, Richard, you're the elder statesman up there. I'm not calling you old, son, but, let's just say you're the seasoned vet. How's your feeling on this? Because I know you were fishing before all this stuff came out. So, what do you think about going back to old school fishing?
Well, for me, I really just kind of like got started adapting to the live scope. And
Right.
So I'm thrown back. But what sucks for me is with live scope, I didn't have to make as many casts. Now I got to make about 100 more casts than what I was doing. So me
Right.
being the oldest one of this group, it tires me out a whole lot faster. But
I get it.
I do have a lot more old school knowledge than they do, but
Yep.
but I tell you, we in the last couple of years, their knowledge and my knowledge, old school, new school, it's really has adapted very well together, and looking forward to the season, see what happens. There is a lot more competition this year. A lot of big names came over, and it's a challenge. But, we're trying to adapt to this challenge and see how we roll out of this. Don't know. It's going to be a coin toss.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, one of the things that people would say about the NPFL before this year was, yeah, there's some good anglers, but it's not the field of the elites. They can't say that no more. You guys got some absolute legends fishing with you, some young hammers, everything. So there's a little bit of everything. Plus you guys that are already in it that are great anglers. It might be one of the most complete fields maybe ever assembled or out there. I mean, what's your take on all the new talent coming in?
For me, it's just more names. You still got to go out there and catch them. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. You still got to do your deal. And just, if you're not going to catch them, it doesn't matter who you compete against. So you still got to just be you.
Yeah. Rob, I got a question for you from Tristan McFarland. How's Rob doing without the scope? Has it affected you?
No, it really so for this event, yes, don't get me wrong. I would like to go out there in the middle and try to scope them out in the middle of the creeks, but at the same time, this lake is set up to be power fishing, and I think you can do better power fishing and without live scope than if you were to have live scope. Like I said earlier, it basically it's an even playing field with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, no one has live scope. Everybody's going out there trying to figure it out, whether it's side scan, 360, 2D sonar, power fishing, worming, old school fishing. It's going to be interesting to see how many big bags come in this event. Because you would think that, like with live scope, your numbers are going to go up. Obviously, that's always a true testament. That's always been like that for the last couple of years. So we're going to see if like that, without having live scope, if the weights are going to be down or not. This event is going to be interesting to tell. So we'll see what happens.
So of all the lakes on your schedule, each one of you have to be looking at one going, that suits me the best. That suits me the best. So this is a question for all of you. Which lake on the 2025 NPFL schedule are you looking forward to the most?
This one for me.
And is that because you're from like Okeechobee, Florida? It fishes more like
Okeechobee.
Yeah.
It kind of sets up to my strength,
right.
without having the live scope. I'm looking forward to fishing all the other lakes. Like Douglas, for instance, is 45 minutes from the house. So I've been putting a lot of time over there and graphing and figuring out, what to do when the full pool comes in and how to get established when the tournament comes around. But this tournament itself, Santee Cooper has been a bucket list for me since I was a little kid. So I'm tickled to death to be fishing this lake, going against all these hammers from all the other leagues, and it'd be nice to host a Shield this year going against this field. So
heck yeah, I get it. All right, Richard, what about you?
I'm gonna steal Will's shine here, but I'm probably looking forward to Logan Martin, even though he won it in 24. But that lake's probably gonna fit me the best.
Okay. And that was the one. Was that the one, Will, that you won with the crankbait?
Yes, sir.
Throwing the old monofilament line and everything.
Yeah, still
yeah,
do.
I remember that. So okay, Will. So we got Santee on one side, we got Logan Martin on the other. What about you?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna say Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma.
Okay.
That one is. I've only been there once. Lost the tiebreaker there, so I'm excited to go back. And that time of year sets up really well for what I want to do. So I may zero that tournament. I don't know, but I'm just excited to go back to that one.
He wants some redemption.
So, yeah, I remember that one. But I also remember watching you at Logan Martin last year, too. That was pretty fun. What was that crankbait you were throwing at Logan Martin?
Hey.
Last year.
I can go get it out of my box.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Let's flip the question. Is there one lake on the schedule that you're not looking forward to fishing?
Man, that's tough. All of them are they each are exciting in and of themselves. St. Lawrence River would definitely be awesome with live scope, being able to go up there and catch a ton of smallmouth. So that one's going to be a little bit of a letdown. We're still going to catch a ton of fish, but knowing the potential of that. So that one is a little bit of a letdown. It'll be a fun one. Logan Martin, Eufaula, those are going to be tough ones. Grind events. So those are probably the ones I'm least looking forward to. Well, Logan Martin kind of actually.
Right. What about you other two guys?
I'm not looking forward to Logan Martin that time of the year. Yeah.
I'm just not looking forward to it. You don't look happy about it at all there, Rob.
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to all the events, but if I were to pencil out the one, it'd probably be that one just because of the time of the year and not having the scope. It's going to be a true testament. That's for sure. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I bet. What about you, Richard?
Well, 3 of the 6 I have not ever been on, so I don't know what to say about those 3 yet, but probably all 3 of them because I just don't know what they're going to set up like.
All right. So I got a comment from T-Toms. Now, you guys all roomed together last year, correct?
Yes.
And you're all great friends. But he's got this question, and you guys can talk to it. I'd be curious how the guys balance their competitiveness with friendliness during the tournament season. And we've kind of talked about that amongst, ourselves, and you guys have been on before. But for somebody that's new to the show, tell them about how it is. Yeah, look, tell them about how it is, how much information you guys do share, what you kind of hold back. Is there any friendly rivalry or bets going on?
Danny,
just kind of tell everybody.
Danny, are you recording this so that he doesn't tell a big fat lie?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
We're going to let him speak first then.
All right, go ahead, Will.
So my honest answer would be really, really friendly to them and lead them astray. Then they never know.
Yep.
No, we try and share a little bit. It helps breaking down these lakes with 3 of us. We're all 3 going to do our own deal. So we're all 3 very different in the way we approach things. But little keys here and there, what type of grass, what area the lake's firing. Hey, I saw this today. Little stuff like that helps. But
yeah,
There
it's,
was a run.
it's always
There was
interesting.
Go ahead, Danny.
No, you go ahead.
There was a running joke all last season. Luck, Luck. It took him a whole season to figure out what Luck means. But
What is it?
Leverage usually catches keepers. He always ends up with a leverage somehow, and
Yeah.
me and Robert ends up with a lower sack of the bag.
Well, I mean, y'all need to do something to him, like sabotage him a little bit. Just some friendly sabotage.
Yeah. We're gonna plant some tires.
Little X-Lax in the morning, you know, and his biscuit or something like that, and his coffee. How about this? Huh?
Here's the problem. If we do anything mechanically, we're gonna have to fix it for him.
Oh, that's true. I get it like that. So, Rob, I got a question for you because you moved from Florida to North Georgia to try to figure out the Heron Lakes and everything. That's what you kind of told us. And now you've moved up to Tennessee and all. The difference between the lakes in Tennessee and the lakes in North Georgia. What's the biggest thing you've noticed?
There's a lot more junk fish here in Tennessee. So when you're scoping, for instance, you just got a whole pile of different things out there, and it's kind of hard to pencil down. Now I've adapted pretty well to kind of figure out, what a bass is and what a bass isn't. But that's all obviously putting time in the water and kind of just mastering that craft in that sense with scoping. But yeah, I do miss fishing herring lakes. Don't get me wrong. I actually went back a couple times, during the wintertime to Blue Ridge and Notley, and just to kind of, get that feeling back again. And, haven't been on those lakes in a while. I did pretty darn good, going back. And then going back to the question about, helping each other out and stuff like that. I am probably the only one that gives every detail to these guys.
Yeah.
Everything. Like I give them baits, give them where to go, what to not to use, what to use all the time. Yeah, because that's just who I am.
He sounds a little irritated.
No, I don't sound irritated. I know me. That's what I do for you all.
He's a practice king.
Yes,
he's a practice king.
Practice
I wonder
king.
what that shirt was for.
What is
won practice.
I won practice. I need that shirt.
Me too.
You can get it at Grind for 5. Or one of my sponsors.
Is that where you can get it at? Good. Let's shout that out right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tony Watkins said, and I assume this is for Will earlier, he said Blairsville's all rooting for you and everything. But the creed of the tournament bass fishing, best friends till they call boat numbers at blast off like that. And listen, but at the end of the day, we talked about it here. You're fishing against the lake. It's like golf. You play golf, you play against the course. You guys are fishing against the lake. What are you looking at me for?
Nothing.
They
all want to see each other do well.
They all want to see each other do well.
Absolutely.
They're friends and all like
Yeah.
that. But you guys can't deny it. Y'all want to win that thing, and I know you wish the best. If you were in a situation like Brandon Polinick the other day, when he was in that channel and he had those 2 boats beside him and all that, I'm curious to know how you guys would have handled that situation. Will, if it was those, like if all 3 of you were in a channel, would y'all be as cordial and friendly?
I would probably leave. I don't like fishing around people. Seeing other people catch fish kind of gets your confidence down a little bit. Now, obviously, if it was these guys and we had a big school of fish, I'd love it. It'd be a blast. But yeah, I want to see these guys do well. But I like to stay away from the crowd, so I don't do well with that.
Danny,
Look at Rick.
Danny, I have a set of pom-poms in my truck just to cheer him on.
Is that what it is?
If he doesn't do good, his lips dragging the ground.
Oh, he's a powder.
Yes, he's a powder.
How about this? Of the 3 of you guys, which one's the biggest powder?
Y'all,
I love it. Is he, Rob? Because I fished with Rob and all that. I know how Rob is on the boat and everything. We talk like that. So if Rob says it, I believe it.
Danny, just watch the scales. If Will's name is real low, call him. See what kind of mood he's in. If his weight's real high, call him. See what kind of mood he's in.
You know what? We'll do a test because I got all you guys' numbers. So that's what I'm going to do after each day. I'm going to text you guys and we'll see that. Got a question for all 3 of you from Brad Silvers. Good question. If you could fish only one lure year-round for solid keepers, what would it be? And he would appreciate it if you would share the color.
With or without
One
scope?
lure. Do what?
With or without scope?
Let's say without scope. Let's just say, let's go without scope. Or you can give both, without scope and with scope.
Chatterbait without scope, and with scope, and nice stuffed lures A-rig.
Okay. What about the color of the chatterbait?
Either like a dirty Clearwater shad, gold blade, or gold blade green pumpkin, or the golden shiner gold blade.
Okay. All right. Will, what about you?
Around Heron Lakes, North Georgia area, with or without scope, I don't care. I throw a shaky head. Love a shaky head. Green pumpkin, put you a 5-inch Cinco on there. Super easy, super effective. It'll catch fish year round.
Okay. All right, Richard.
Without scope, probably a crankbait or a spinnerbait. With scope, probably a drop shot.
All right. So what color spinnerbait you throwing? Let's just say dirty water.
If it's muddy, I'm probably not going to be throwing a spinnerbait, but
Right.
I'm going to probably be throwing a crankbait or something with some rattles in it to have a reaction bite to it. But I love a 5XD in a shad color. If that was the only crankbait you would give me, that's the one I'd probably go with.
Okay. So that we can make Paul Benson happy. I've noticed that, Rob and Will, and I don't know about you, Richard, but I know you got – yeah, it is about impossible. But listen, y'all got the ARC hat on. Y'all got the ARC, the ARC stuff. You guys represent ARC. Richard, are you with ARC? I don't know.
Okay. I'm out of the loop.
Okay. I didn't know, but you two guys are with ARC. And so what is it about ARC that you guys wanted to be associated with?
Yeah, for me, affordability of the quality. So really high quality rods and you don't have to break a bank for. Like I don't know if I own a rod over $120. So I keep all my stuff pretty low key, great sensitivity and awesome product for the price.
What about you, Rob?
Well, I've been with them for a while now, and the guys over there, Justin and Louis and Shin out there, I've known them for quite some time, and just the relationship that I built with them over the last couple of years. The customer service itself is a no-brainer. I mean, if you ever have any issues, they're going to replace it, no questions asked. That's bigger than having a $200-300 rod. And like what Will was saying is I use the Evoker Pro. The Evoker Tour, same with Will. He uses the same stuff. They're very affordable. You're not going to break the bank. There's legitimate guys out there that use those rods and they've won big tournaments with it. So, to me, the new reels that they came out with, they got the G1, G2, the 3s, the 4 or the 5s, the 7s, and the 8s, and then the spinning reels are unbelievable. I posted a video not too long ago about the stability of these reels. And if you just take care of them and stuff like that, you don't have to go out and buy new reels every year. Just oil them up, every 3 to 4 or 5 months, depending on the usage of how you use them. And they'll last forever. I still have reels that I've been using for 3 years now. And there's no point of me purchasing new stuff every year if the stuff works.
Yeah. What's that model spinning reel they got out now?
It's they got a 2500 and a 3500.
Okay, so Paul, if you're watching, don't listen to this section right here. He brought me up one of the 2500s to try out, and I let a couple guys throw it and everything, and then now I got it on mine. He ain't getting it back. It was supposed to be just a try because I like it. That's a sweet reel.
Yeah, I've got a couple of
You
them.
got them?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of ARC stuff.
It's affordable. It's
Yeah,
$129. It's
when they oversold too.
$19 or $129.
No cost.
Yeah, they're great. I know he brought it he goes, try it out. Paul's so damn busy. He don't remember what all he's giving out and everything. He probably forgot I still have it, but I'm not giving it back. That's actually one of my favorite spinning reels that I use, and it is the 2500. And the guys that I let use it, man, they loved it. And you're right, it's not an expensive reel if you go buy it. What'd you say, about $125?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. That is not expensive. I mean,
No,
it's going to
great.
last forever. Yeah, I've
It
caught
is.
absolute giants with those things, and stripers and all, bass as well. I mean, they last. They're very durable.
All right. Jeremy Conkright wants to know, will there be a double-digit weight in this weekend on Santee Cooper?
It's possible.
It's possible. It's pre-spawn.
They live here.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Dirty 30?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's real possible too.
I think multiple people could have that. I think if one person has 30, they're not gonna follow it the next day. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, I just don't see that happening. Unless you had the scope, for instance. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So how much will Bed and Fish play into this tournament?
Depends what's happened the last 2 days. They're wanting to move up. There's already a few on bed. If they've moved up over the last 2 off days we've had, it could be a full-blown sight fishing tournament. Especially tomorrow, no wind, sunny. You could definitely see guys catch them that way. Saturday, wind's going to blow a lot, so it may temper off a little bit, but more than likely it'll be a pre-spawn event.
So y'all actually were supposed to start fishing today,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
And they canceled it because of high wind? Is that
Yeah.
what it was for?
Yeah.
So when you guys – let me ask you about your mental state. When you're preparing for a tournament, getting ready to go, and you find out they canceled day one, now you kind of got to readjust a little bit. What goes into that process?
Well, I'm gonna answer that right off the bat. It blew hard here all day, and NPFL made the right choice. I mean, I was out there on Tuesday around 2:00, and it was blowing like 13. Today it got up around 20, and at 13 it was pretty nasty. So I think NPFL made the right call. But man, all you can do is try to keep your head in the game and not let the days off mess with your brain.
So now they're moving it. So it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
Correct? Am I right? All right. Brad Silvers wants to know, he's kind of got 2 questions. What is the best arc crankbait rod? And then down below he goes, what's the best arc deep crankbait rod? So I don't know if they're one and the same or if they're different, but if y'all can answer that question.
For smaller crankbaits, I love the 7.2 medium invoker. It's $150. You can throw anything from a square bill up to like a DT10 on it. For the deeper ones, they have a deep crankbait rod. It's glass. It's like a 711.
Yeah.
So that's a really good deep cranking rod. But for most applications, that 7.2 medium is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
the 711 composite rod is my go-to for a deep crankbait. I mean, you can throw that on a lipless crankbait, square bill, or anything, because of how long it is. You can really get it out there and cast pretty far. I like the 7.4 composite, medium heavy, especially for smaller crankbaits. For instance, square bills, lipless rattle traps. I like throwing glass rods. He likes to throw the graphites. So we have a little different preference on that. So
Let me ask you, Richard, since you're not with ARC, tell me a little bit about your crankbait rods. What do you throw?
Well, whenever we go to Tennessee River, I've got some Dobbin rods that I throw the 16 to a 25 on them, and they got several different lines, but it's really depends on what is happening at the lake at that time.
Okay. And you remember, you 2 guys, if y'all got a question, y'all can tell me to shut up and answer.
He's still fishing mono.
Okay, Will.
Yeah, he's still tight.
Are you still fishing mono?
Absolutely. Big game all the way.
Big game clear.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's crazy. What kind of, okay, no, that's not crazy. I totally get it. Hell, you've had success with it. What about you other 2 guys? What kind of line do you like to use? Wait, so is that on your cranking stuff?
It
Will?
don't matter.
It
As long as
doesn't
you got a boat.
Everything but my spinning rods. Every bait caster I own will have big game on it. Spinning rods, totally different deal.
Look at Rob.
What's on your spinning rods?
Spinning rods, I use,
Fluoro.
yeah,
I know a lot of
15
people
pound
who have
braid.
switched to straight mono just because of him.
Yeah, do you realize that, Will? Before I get the other 2 guys, after we put out that TikTok, that little comment, and then that you were on saying that, there was a bunch of guys
Clint's one of them too.
that flipped over to mono because of Will Harkins and his cheap ass having success with it. You know, I'm serious. Did you realize you had that big of a pull with that?
No. I mean, results speak for themselves. I don't think it makes a difference. These guys will argue differently, but you know,
I know they will. I know they will, Rob. I see you looking off camera right there with that smirk on your face. I'm well aware of your smirk. Tell me about your line there, dog. Where is he wrong? Where is Will wrong?
Will's not wrong. It's look.
You're supposed to say he's wrong.
Will's not wrong to his own sense. Okay. Put it that way.
Okay.
So
Good
it's
answer.
his preference. My preference. I like to throw fluorocarbon on pretty much everything. I like to use Sunline FC Sniper. Sometimes I use Seagar. That's pretty much it. I mean, for spinning rods, I throw braid to a fluorocarbon leader. The only time I use mono is if I'm throwing a topwater bait tied to a floor. So if I have braided line, I tie a little monofilament for a leader for topwater baits just to keep the thing afloat.
Okay. All right, Richard.
Well, I was on Wheeler, and I was fishing a lizard with a 1/8 ounce on a lizard right off the grass line a few years ago, and when it went through there, and my guy in the boat was getting a bite about every 5 to my 1, and I couldn't figure it out. I went back and I went, wait a minute, I just swapped everything last week over to mono. So I pulled all that off and put Seagar back on it, which is invisible, and went back out the next day, and I was catching 5 to his 1. So it was a sensitivity for me. It still is today, and that's just me. I've seen Will catch fish after fish on mono. It does have more give to it. I grew up fishing original strand, and we actually had that conversation today. I have taken a scale and done a pressure test on line growing up, and original strand would do almost twice whatever the poundage test would say.
Really?
Yes.
I'm
if you take
gonna
a set of scale.
Okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
So, Will, I'm not going to lie. After that episode, I went and I didn't have any clear big game in the shop, but I had some trilene, 14-pound test mono, and I rigged my jig rod. In the next tournament I fished mono. I'm just like, I'm going to channel my inner Will Harkins.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not going to lie to you. I couldn't tell a difference.
Hold on, Danny. Hold on, Danny. His hat's coming off.
Hey, listen, though. Listen.
Did you do the Harkey?
Huh?
Did you do the Harkey?
What's the Harkey?
Get up and do the Harkey. Come on. He's got to do the Harkey right here.
That's his dance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see me dance, okay?
Nobody wants to see him dance either.
Yeah, but he's getting paid to dance, and I'm not. So there's a big difference. But I will tell you this. I couldn't really tell a difference, and I actually caught fish, and I just like, hell, if it's good enough for Will, because that was right after you won, Logan Martin. Hell, he had a $100,000 check. And I'm like,
You caught fish.
I actually caught fish. Yeah, and I caught it on mono with a jig. Yeah.
That's the first time I ever heard you say that.
I don't catch many. But I tried this weekend on Allatoona. I tried to channel my inner Emil Wagner. And so I wore my Jesus Water Walker 1000 flip-flops and everything. So I had the exposed toes and everything. And I froze my ass off too because the wind started blowing. It was like 30 degrees. I'm like, no, this ain't for me. There was a question up there. I forget who it was for, but they want to know what you guys do on your day off. Like if you're not fishing, say like a day like today, it got canceled. Are you re-rigging, looking at notes, you just watching football or whatever? What are you doing?
Work on Will's boat.
Does Will's boat always break down or something?
Well, he just got a brand new one. Last season, I worked on it about every night that we came home.
Why is that?
Because it's a skeeter.
Because he's
Nah.
tight. Because he's tight.
Not
He
gonna say that.
squeaks when he walks.
Does it? Okay, what boat do each of you guys run?
I got a Phoenix.
I got a Triton.
Skeeter.
And you got a Skeeter.
Yeah.
All right. So each one of you, give me one quick sentence to sell me on your brand of boat. I don't care who starts.
It's a great offshore riding boat. really handles the waves really well.
All right, Will, why should I buy a Skeeter?
Contingency money. Skeeter trails around the house, you get paid more than you'll ever make with another boat. So it's all, for me, it's contingencies.
Okay. All right, Richard.
I've had multiple brands, and I like the Phoenix all the way around on the ride, and how much room I've got inside of it, the storage, just all the way around.
So Stephen Barday's in the comment section. He said, Danny will try anything. To catch a fish, I will. Listen, I get great guests on here, and Stephen, you've been on here. I listen to every single one of you guys. And yes, I read the questions for the viewers, but lots of times these questions are for me because I am absolutely selfish and I want to catch fish. Do any of you guys throw a whopper plopper?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you suck. You know, you throw the Berkeley, or I mean, what brand plopper you throw?
Berkeley.
Chapo.
Berkeley or the Chapo.
Chapo.
Yeah.
Whichever one they'll loan me for the.
Will, listen. Will acts like he just ain't got a dime to his name. You know
Danny.
what I'm saying?
Danny,
Yeah.
He's the cheapest
when he
person.
walks over to my boat and says, I need a favor," I'm in trouble.
Well, you know, he knows where he can get one. He knows where he can get one. What do you guys legitimately think it's going to take to win this tournament? 3-day wait. Your best guesstimate.
It'll definitely be north of 60. It could crack 70. It's going to be the tournament of the have and have nots. So you're going to see really high, really top heavyweights, but most of the field is going to be really low.
Okay. I know all three of you want to win it, and we're rooting for all three of you because we love you guys. But give me an angler not in your house that will be one that we need to be watching this weekend. Because I'm pulling for you guys. You know, I'm supposed to be like Switzerland and be neutral, but I like
I'm
you
gonna
guys.
go out on a limb. I told him today, out of 18 tournaments that I have been around him, I've never heard him mention raising the shield, and I've heard him mention raising the shield 3 times this week, and that's Hunter Bogman. I call him the fish pimp.
Okay. All right. What about you, Will?
I'm going to give you 3 names. I'm going to cheat a little bit. Obviously, Patrick Walters, his home waters, Corey Casey, and Jason Burrows.
Okay. All right there, Rob.
Patrick, shorts, Walters.
Yeah. Has he had his shorts on all week, as windy as it is?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I wouldn't deny it. So yeah,
He's proud of that ass.
yeah.
Is he not?
Maybe his nickname Patty is for a reason.
So Patty Mayonnaise, Drew Cook, because he's won here before.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw a name out there that just won the St. Johns River is Bill Lowen.
Okay. All right. That's some good ones. Let me go ahead.
No, go
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Because he's been really consistent the last 2 tournaments in bass. I mean, he won one and then he made the top 50 cut. And then like with guys that, fish these tournaments, especially the elite guys that are coming to fish in our league, they've already gotten 2 major tournaments in the back of their mind. So they're hot and fresh and ready to go. So like with Bill, like he's just been really consistent this year. Same thing with Patrick and same thing with Drew. I can say the same thing with Wes Logan. He's been really consistent too. So those are some guys that, that you're going to have to really pay attention to and stuff like that. So,
well, you guys know, at least for me personally, I'm rooting for you guys. So those are all great names, but I'd love for you guys to go 1, 2, 3 in it. And that's not just kissing your ass because we're all friends.
This be number 3.
Yeah.
Who's going to take it in the house?
Yeah. Okay. How about that?
Whoa.
Let's have some predictions in the house predictions right now. Give me your Rob. Give me your order 1, 2, and 3. Who's coming in first? Second,
we
third?
already know.
Huh? Come on.
I can see myself possibly winning this if it goes the way I think it's going to go.
Good. I like the confidence.
I can see Richard getting second, and then I can see Willard over here being the third fiddle.
Hey, listen, we all know Will can't catch anything without scope anyway, right? That's what everybody tells us, right? Let me address something in the comment section real quick. Far Dog, I appreciate your first question, but we're not talking anything specific about Santee at all because we don't want to get Brad Fuller might be watching this thing right there. And number one, I don't want to piss him off. And number two, I don't want to get any of these guys DQ'd right there. So we're not going to speak specifics on Santee, but I appreciate the question. Now, your next question I can ask. What's y'all's favorite buzzbait brands as well as spinnerbait brands?
I like the Tackle HD buzz baits. You can bend the wire down where it's the head, so you have a clacker. You can bend it out, so you don't have a clacker. So it's a 2-in-1 type buzz bait. Spinner baits, I love the Covert series from Booyah, and Spot Joker makes a good one for blueback herring lakes. Accent ones make really good ones for largemouth lakes.
Okay. What about you, Rob or Richard? Either one of you guys, favorite buzz bait, favorite spinner bait?
Yeah, so I just became sponsored by Omega Custom Lures over there with Taylor Watkins. So I used a lot of his spinner baits that he makes. He customizes spinner baits. He hand ties them himself, and then same with his buzz bait. So I got a couple of those things set on for this weekend. Throw a little curveball. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Richard.
I'm gonna be throwing Omega as well. We're gonna see how it rolls out.
Okay, so Omega is a brand we need to be paying attention to.
Skirt or frog?
Okay, and then Kevin wants to know: are you talking about on their buzz bait?
On the buzz bait.
On the buzz bait, you throwing a skirt or you throwing a frog?
I'm throwing both.
Okay.
What's your reasoning for both?
I like the skirt kind of wrapping around the frog. In some cases, I will throw just a frog on it, but in this case, if I do throw it here, it will be skirt and frog.
Okay, Rob.
That's different.
Both,
Okay, same reasoning or
pretty much.
That's a way to expound on that question right there, big dog. You guys might be able to answer this question because I don't know. Does anybody make a twin buzz bait with floats other than Accent? Does Omega make anything like that? You guys know?
No,
you know what the
all
Accent
his
is, right?
All his are singles.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. So you guys in the comment section, if you know a brand that makes a twin blade buzz bait with floats other than Accent, throw it out there for our buddy Brad Silvers out there like that. All right, how about this? And we're getting close to the Kevin's Impossible question of the night from Serve IT here in a little bit. So you guys get ready for that. Going to give you a couple of slobber knockers if you win it. How about you guys got any superstitions when it comes to fishing a tournament? Night before a tournament, you eat the meal or the morning of, you wear underwear, don't wear underwear, anything like that. Okay, Will.
I'm waiting on it.
Will, what is your superstition?
You got to have chocolate milk in the house.
Moo moo. Pookie moo moo.
Pookie.
Pookie.
You got to have chocolate milk?
Yeah, it's a great. You get protein, cholesterol,
gosh.
whatever. It tastes good.
Yeah, everybody's got to have their cholesterol before a fishing tournament.
Hey, Danny, the jug is empty.
Oh, how many gallons do you go through on a tournament weekend?
How many? Wait a minute. Ask him this. How many gallons does he buy?
How many gallons of chocolate milk, Will Harkins, do you buy on a tournament weekend?
Me, 0. He's in charge of that. That's about the only thing he's good at. So he brings the chocolate milk.
Do you buy anything for Rob, Richard?
Yeah.
What do you buy for Rob?
What do you buy from me?
I cook him eggs all the time. Yeah.
Okay, so how about this? Who does the cooking in the house? Is it you, Richard?
I cook breakfast. Will doesn't cook.
He doesn't know how to cook.
So I'm getting the feeling that Will is the bougie one. Is that right?
Will doesn't do nothing. His dad drives him around everywhere. He just shows up.
Miriam does all the cooking for us. Shout out.
Is that who it is? Okay.
Yeah.
How about this? For everybody that wants to know, give me your ages so they can tell the age difference in the house.
23.
40.
29 and holding.
You're lying. You sound like my wife. How old are you really?
53.
Are we the same age?
53.
53. So I turned 53 this month, as a matter of fact. So we're the same age. So how about this? does the age difference ever kind of, I mean, when you get in certain situations or certain conversations or anything like that, can you tell, like, maybe Rob and Richard relate better to one thing than Will does, or maybe Rob and Will relate better than something than Richard does?
So I just want to put this out here. They are being very unfair to the character of the people in this house. So we'll have a talk about that later. But we're all pretty easygoing.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't really matter what we're talking about or doing. We're all pretty easygoing.
Yeah, I know that. It's always fun to try to make you guys say something. I know ain't gonna happen, but
remember that Luck.
Luck. There you go, the leverage thing right there. But I fished with Rob, so I know how laid back Rob is. So and Will, Rob, you laid back. Yeah, listen. I know you're competitive, but you're laid back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I got a potty mouth. I can admit that.
He's a wild card. He's a wild card, Danny.
Yeah.
I know, but listen, Rob, you and I are cut kind of more close from the same mold. I don't know how many times on a tournament Saturday I say something and look up and go, sorry, Lord. I do it the whole day. So I get it. Dog wants to know, huh?
Hold on. Now, I will say from 24 season to 25 season, Robert has made a 180-degree turn. He is his attitude, his momentum, and his it's different. So I think he's going to have a good season.
Thank you.
Well, that's good. That's good. And I can tell you just from watching him over the last 2 or 3 years, I can tell. I mean, you don't have to live with him in the house. You can tell that from afar, Rob, in all honesty.
I appreciate that.
I mean, you're buds with us anyway, but you can tell. And kind of your mental state going into a tournament and stuff, and when you have a bad day and all that compared to that. So no, it's noticeable. So that's kudos for you, being able to hear somebody else say that. Dog wants to know, what are your guys' favorite flipping football head jig brands, and what size flipping jigs do y'all use most, if you use them at all?
I hate a jig.
He borrows them from me all the time.
Well, do any of you guys use a flipping jig?
Yeah, I caught my PB in Teleco this year with one of the jigs that you made me, Danny. Over it was a 10-4. Just randomly flipping fan casting. I was so tired of keeping my head down and scoping. I'm like, we got to live scope is banned for the NPFL, so might as well go flip this jig. And and I just went ahead and caught that big and 10-pounder. But I've been using your jigs that you've made. Omega makes jigs as well, so I've been using those quite often. Just because going into the season with no scope, I've been just practicing flipping a lot more than I have been.
Okay, well, if you need some more, let me know.
You got it.
That goes for all of you guys. If you need some jigs, I'll make you some jigs right there.
You overnight them then?
Huh?
Can you overnight them right now?
Let me tell you something. I have overnighted them before. I have before. Now I'm not going to do it this time because I got it. Actually, Will, you know what? I'm performing a wedding this weekend. So tomorrow, I'm internet ordained. So tomorrow I got to do a rehearsal.
Internet ordained.
Listen, no, I'm not lying. I am. I told a couple guys up here back in the day, they had these girlfriends, and I was ragging them. I'm like, if you guys put a ring on it, I'll get ordained and marry you. And about a year later, the guy come in and he goes, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I put a ring on it." So I had to pay $75 to the international internet, whatever, church or whatever, and I can marry you right now. We can have it right. Listen, any of you guys, we can do it. If you know anybody, we'll do it right here at Fish North Georgia on the podcast too. So, but I can't.
Are you going to charge that $75 back?
No, man, I'll do it for free. Listen, all you got to do is feed me. I'm the cheapest. John G. Wilson. I'm internet ordained also right there. This will be my fifth wedding. And I keep saying I ain't doing no more. And then somebody asked me, I'm like, all right, okay, whatever. All right. So listen, I'll let you guys get a break. And again, I told you guys, I know you got a busy day tomorrow. So anytime you got to go, you let me know. But after we do this question of the night, I actually want to get into some spring tactics. If you guys got time to hang around, let's actually talk how to catch bass in the spring. We'll do. And listen, and Brian said, I did a dang fine job. So there you go. All right. Are you ready?
No.
Huh?
River to Sea also makes a floating buzzbait.
River to Sea makes one.
Yeah, I just saw it up there a minute
Okay,
ago.
I saw Timu too. So let's go ahead and pull up Serve IT. Our buddies at Serve IT, guys. If your company is looking for a complete 100% absolute managed IT service, Serve IT is the company for you. Customer service, American made, or not American made, an American company. So all your answers are going to be answered here locally by a guy with a real English name. Is what I always like to say like that. So, but listen, they're great guys, Alan and them over there. Also, too, if you're looking for a change in career and you're thinking about getting into the IT world, go to serveit.com, hit their careers, and hey, we can hear you guys talking back there. Quit talking about me. Look at Will. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you. I just want to scare you. But anyway, hey, listen, check them out, serveit.com for careers. They're looking for outdoorsmen that got that positive attitude and willingness to stick on a job till they figure it out. So we appreciate Alan and the guys. They're still talking. Like I'm telling you, they're going to be saying something bad about me or my mama. All right, so you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, how many answers?
One answer.
One answer tonight.
Ooh, what?
First one in the comments section gets a couple slobber knockers.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here's the question. How many Fish North Georgia episodes has Ryan Sheffield hosted? And I'll give you a clue. There's been 177 Thursday night episodes that I can account for. I'll read it again. How many Fish North Georgia episodes has Ryan Sheffield hosted? A clue is there's been 177 Thursday night episodes that I can account for.
All right, so you guys in the comments section, first one gets that number. Now, listen, Jason Jones goes, I had to go to seminary to get that. Dude, listen, $75 and I can marry anybody. I didn't even have to take the test. So you guys are in the comment section throwing it out, and I know somebody's just going to start throwing out numbers. So listen, if the answer is wrong, it's Kevin's fault.
We're not even going to say who's close or nothing.
So I can't give no hints.
No, you can't give no hints. I already gave him a clue.
Oh, we got one. We got a winner.
Oh, we got a winner already.
You got it.
My buddy Brian, 14. The answer is 14. I can't believe I let Ryan host that many.
I can't believe it's been 177.
Actually, we've been doing this a while. Yeah. We've been doing it a while. So, Brian, I can either hold him here at the shop or shoot me your address on Facebook.
I had my money on Darian again, but I guess I didn't make it.
I ain't seen Darian in the comments section tonight.
He was up there. He had 15.
Oh, Darian did answer?
Yeah, he had 15. So go back down a little bit.
He is in the comments.
I saw him up there. I know I did.
No, Brian started off at 19.
Yeah, I ain't seen Darian tonight.
Yeah, Brian started
Go on up.
That's as far.
I'll go back down. I've got
look, you got to listen. Kevin's gonna got his mind on this. Like he knows exactly.
There he is.
There he is.
Darian is here.
He just started high.
I told you.
Yeah, okay. I believe you.
No, you did.
No, I didn't really.
I know you did.
Okay, so scroll on down. Let's see if we got any questions, guys. Now's the time.
Nope.
Yeah, come see me, Brian. I'll put them in the drawer right there. I remember when you were in the basement. Boys, we have come a long way.
Long ways
since the basement. Mm-hmm. The internet now works. We got fiber.
We're on the top floor now.
We're on the top. We're moving on up. We're like the Jeffersons. Yeah. We're just moving on up. One of these days, we're going to have our own studio with stadium seating so you guys can come watch it.
A deluxe apartment in the sky.
Deluxe apartment. We might even get some cheerleaders. You want to get some cheerleaders
no,
for
I
us?
don't think we need to go that
I
route.
think we might get in trouble with that. Don't you think right there?
Yep.
All right. So now's the time. We're going to take these guys right here. If you guys got questions specifically about springtime bass fishing and tactics, let's go ahead and start answering your questions. And also remember, absolutely nothing about Santee Cooper.
I got a question for Richard.
Go ahead and start it off there, Alex.
Because he said he hasn't fished half of these lakes on the schedule yet. So when you're approaching a lake that you haven't fished yet, where do you start?
Google Earth. Google.
Everybody says
Google Earth.
Google Earth. And I'll be honest with you, the next step, he and I are going to start communicating, and we're going to put our heads together and just start breaking the lake down the best we can.
Okay. I mean,
I like it.
that's fairly reasonable.
I like the teamwork.
What about you, Rob? Because he said he's just you talked to all three of you guys will do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he said that. He said about him and Will. He didn't bring me.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting there like, what? I'm
You're
standing
just
right
over
here.
there. You're just over there. That's why I kind of brought that up. All right, Darian Moss wants to know: cold, muddy water when the bite sucks. What's the go-to?
I mean, stick a spinnerbait Colorado blade in your hand, a
Rattle
square
trap.
bill. And
Rattle trap.
Amen.
Rattle trap.
What is Rob sipping on?
Penelope bourbon, straight barrel.
Dude, I couldn't help but notice it right there. Sorry, I'm a bourbon guy. Hey, let me ask you a question about the rattle trap. When you're in cold, muddy water, are you throwing it out and just reeling it back? Are you doing any yo-yoing? What would
Just
make
reeling-
you do one or the other?
Just reeling it back for me.
I like to, do a couple pauses, jerk it, slack it, that kind of thing. Just different cadences and stuff.
So what about color in muddy water? Does it make that much of a difference when throwing a trap, something that makes that much noise?
I like the red orange.
Same, red, orange, or gold.
Okay, Will, I notice you're being quiet right here on the rattle trap.
He
You don't like it?
probably don't even own a trap.
He doesn't own traps.
No,
Does he
I
not?
don't. I don't care for a trap. I think color is. We can overrate colors a lot.
Right.
Get you a shad looking one, or a crawfish looking one, or a bluegill looking one. They're all For me, color's overrated, but
Wrong.
these
Okay.
guys will argue again.
So is mono.
I knew that was coming. So Far Dog wants to know, what is the most important info from like water temp when you get the water temp? You guys used to know. I'm trying to read this question. You guys used to know to skip the mouth of a cove and idle onto the back of a cove. I guess if you're seeing water temp, how do you approach a cove? What will make you kind of hit the mouth of it as opposed to going on back?
Springtime specifically, especially going into the spawn, your south facing pockets are going to get the most sun. So those are always going to be warmer. So let's say you're on the verge of a pre-spawn spawn bite. I'm going to idle towards the back of some of those south facing coves versus fishing the mouths of the north facing coves. But typically different sections of the lake have different temperatures. You got to look for creeks running in. They're going to make it colder. So just kind of look at all the details there and know whether fish front to back.
That's why we keep him around, Danny.
Hey, listen, I don't blame you right there. But Doc Holliday says in the comments, I've got traps older than Will.
I've got traps
I mean,
twice his age.
He is. Adam Mathis, right there, couple up right there. How you feeling back there, Tony? You hanging in there?
I'm good. Everything's good.
Good. All right, perfect. Any of you use a glide bait to catch, locate fish, and come back later to the same spot if a big one shows itself but doesn't bite? Now, I'm going back to Rob right here. When we fished together on Lanier, you pulled out a mag draft that day. You remember that?
Yep.
And you were telling me lots of times they don't hit it. You're looking to see if a fish shows itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So-
I mean, I absolutely love throwing a glide bait. I like throwing big baits, catch big fish that way. I've done very, very well catching fish, for instance, Notley, Pickwick, places up north. When we went to Saginaw, I was catching them on the glide bait. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you can get a lot of fish to get very interested in. Some will bite it and some will don't. But a lot of times when you do get bit, it's a pretty big fish.
How about you other two? You guys throw the glides?
He probably don't own but a couple, but because he's too tight. But I own probably.
They are
about a hundred.
expensive. They're expensive, Will. I'll give you one next time, okay? Next time I see you, I'll give you a glide bait.
Man, come on, man! Don't fall for the trap.
I'm not, dude. I really ain't. Hell, he knows me. I'm poor.
He plays the pitiful game, and he always gets the stuff people gives him.
I think I got Will really hooked on glide baits. I've showed we fished together. We were fishing to two, and I was throwing a what was it? A big threadfin, little baby threadfin, and I caught one almost 5 pounds, and he was like, "Oh, I'm hooked now." And then he had to go order one. So yeah.
Hey,
All right, I've got a question for
all right,
Rob.
go ahead. Tony's
All
got a
right,
question
so
for you guys.
When you go, you say you're going to throw a glide bait because this is my year to learn the glide bait. What are you looking for specifically? Say, yep, today's a glide bait day. This is going to be why I use it. What is there anything I need to be looking for?
Depending on where you're fishing, like I really like focusing on docks. Like, so I went to Lake Murray on Saturday before day one of practice, and I had like over 20 pounds throwing a big glide bait, and I was focusing on docks, really flat docks, because the fish were essentially like underneath them, and I was paralleling them, and they would come out and just slam the thing. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Paralleling docks is one of my go-tos when I'm throwing a glide bait, or when I'm throwing in the middle of creeks and I'm scoping and I can see a school of them. Usually, the majority of the time, one of them will hit it, out of that big school.
Perfect.
Is that a good answer there,
Yeah,
Tony?
I'm thinking I fished yesterday and I had a chatterbait on, so they probably would have hit the chatterbait yesterday. Or the glide yesterday, because they were literally right beside the dock.
Okay.
Docks.
All right.
That's good.
Go ahead.
What factors determines what kind of glide bait you're going to throw?
It
Brand or
depends. Brand. I mean, I got different brands. I got Biggs. I got the Clutch Swim Darter. Justin Kimmel, he recommended that to me. I think these guys bought a couple of them when we were at the East Tennessee Fishing Show. The Baby Boss, all white. Even though it's all white, I mean, fish just tear that up. I mean, that's really what I was throwing when I was at Murray. I was really, really catching the heck out of them with that. And we'll see this weekend. I got a little secret this weekend, so I'm not gonna.
You can tell me after the tournament. How about that? Cranking and Yanking. That's a hell of a name there, boss. I love that. Cranking and Yanking wants to know, first of all, do any of you guys throw a wacky? And if you do you throw a Cinco, Yum Dinger, or something else on it? What do you throw on your wacky?
Yum Dingers.
A bruiser bait.
Cheap.
Right next to the big game at Walmart.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, you can get that 100-pack of Yum Dingers for fairly cheap and go through. I throw them. What about, so you like the Yum Dingers? What about you other two? You throw a wacky?
Yeah, I mean, I throw the wacky. I like the bruiser bait sticks. We call them sticks instead of Senkos and stuff. I have what's cool about Bruiser, Steve Dow that owns the company, is that if you got a specific color that he doesn't have in his catalog, you can just go ahead and just text him and say, hey, listen, I want this custom color, and he'll go ahead and wrap it up for you. And I have a bunch of different variety of colors that I like to use that are not on the catalog that really, set me up really good to catch fish and stuff.
Okay, good answer. What about you, Richard? You a wacky guy?
I am not a wacky guy, but I have seen Will use it, and I have seen where it could produce, but I don't throw it that often.
Okay. All right, question from Kelby Elder. What makes you decide whether to get out and graph around looking for bait versus looking for individual structure? So when you guys are out graphing,
that's the time.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Time of the year, hands down. I'm going to just do blueback herring lakes because it differs around the country. Largemouth are totally a different ball game, but for herring lakes, wintertime, you got to be following bait, fall all the way through winter. You got to follow the bait. They get off, your big ones typically get off the brush piles, get off the points, stuff like that. You'll still have a few of your big ones up there eating crawfish or on the rocks. But time of year is the total dependent of that answer.
Okay.
Spot
you
on.
guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So Tony Watkins wants to know, have any of you used the Berkeley Nessie? And if so, you got an opinion on it?
I've used it. Just not a lot. I just don't have the confidence on it compared to either a Mag Draft or the Bath Mafia, Zal Dangerous swim bait. And then I just prefer to throw a glide bait. So
okay. All right. Far Dog wants to know, how far out do y'all shoot each side with your side imaging when searching for bass?
If I'm on a lake like a Lanier, 100 feet, I'll even bump out to 120. But I'm not looking for bass. I'm looking for bait. I'm looking for structure, any of that. Shallower lakes, softer bottom lakes, I'm 60 to 80 feet.
All right. What about you guys?
He's about spot on. If you're on a river system, you want to narrow it down. But if you're targeting bait, then you can spread it out. It just depends on what the target is at that time of year.
Okay. And Rob, you can answer this one first. What's the best time of year to throw a glide bait?
All year.
All year. Pre-spawn, spawn, and post-spawn.
So
especially like in herring lakes, I've noticed that, the the post spawn when those largemouth and especially big spots will hide underneath the docks. I mean, they're just so notorious to come out and just crash that thing. Even during the spawn, when a lot of people like to throw like a white zoom craw, out there and try to get them on a bed. But I really think a glide bait is a lot better bait. You're just going to have a better successful chance of catching them. I mean, they don't like it, period. And you set that thing right in the bed, they're going to go slam it most of the time.
Okay. All right, Alex, since this is your first time being behind the mic and everything, I'm going to give you the next two questions. So you got Todd Abbott's and then you got Far Dogs because I got to go pee. So you take it away there, dog.
All right. Is the S Waver a good glide bait, or should I look into an upgrade? I like the S Waver. I think the S Waver is a good glide bait. What do you guys think?
I've never thrown an S Waver.
I'm going to just do a generalization. A lot of your glide baits are going to be somewhat the same. They're either going to look like a gizzard shad or look like a herring. So just match the forage. Lanier, I'm throwing something like a darter, longer, slender bait, just because it matches the forage.
What is Will, Rob, and Richard's PB, and what were they caught on?
A 10-4 at Teleco this year, January 2nd. Exactly, I know exactly the time, 3:35 p.m. Throwing a dirty jig, green pumpkin with the bruiser bait firecracker trailer. Crawdad trailer. Yeah.
I caught a 9.15 largemouth on Chattoog on a drop shot in a tournament. It was about 11 p.m.
11 p.m. 8.2 on a trap was my best tournament fish.
Are we talking personal best right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get Far Dog's question up there? Right above Todd Abbott, right there. Let's get Richard. At what temperature and what kind of water should I look to throw a Series 4 square bill or any other larger square bill brand?
What kind of water?
Can y'all see the comments? Can y'all see the comments on that side? Okay,
yeah.
good. So when I murder a question, I want to make sure you guys can see.
Well, I was just trying to read it. I'm a little slow on that. Water temp. I'm going to throw a square bills is probably going to be more of a spring for me, all the way up to probably first part of April, because the fish are going to start moving out around April. But I grew up on a river system, so the lakes are going to change a little different. But on the river system, lakes probably February to April, I'm going to be throwing a square bill. From January to February, I'm going to probably be throwing a lipless. So,
okay. All right. Brad Silvers wants to know: would you throw a glide if there's not any docks?
Yeah,
100%.
So what kind of structure can you target if you're not throwing it at docks?
Grass.
Like outside the reed lines, you don't want to throw it in the middle of the reeds because it's going to get hung up, obviously. So outside the reed lines, open water, middle of bait balls. If you can see them on scope and they're eating the bait balls and you throw that glide bait, they're just going to be like, what is that? And they're going to get interested and they'll probably hit it most of the time.
Okay. Cranking and yanking. I know, Rob, you'll appreciate this. Bruiser baits are good stuff. Steve is a good guy.
Thank you. He is a good guy.
Totally. Darian Moss wants to know, have y'all thrown Buka's trick shad, the cheap one? Or even have you thrown any Buka baits?
No.
Yes. Once again, I'm going to make a big generalization here. If you're talking tournament fishing, in my opinion, a glide bait is overrated. If you want consistency, you cannot go out there every day of the week, catch 5-10 bass on a glide bait. I don't care. You go out to Texas, places like that. Yes, you can. We're talking herring lakes, talking around here. You cannot go and consistently catch limits on a glide bait. It is an awesome bait for a kicker. But talking consistency, don't go out there and think that you can throw it all day and catch a bag every time.
That is true. I'm going to admit
that makes sense. All right, so our buddy Big Al is watching now.
What's up, Big Al?
Yeah, so Big Al likes to chime in every once in a while with his hot lady of the past. Okay, and you guys got to rank her All right. So, Will, this might be before your time.
It
A
is.
little bit. It is. But his choice tonight is Heather Locklear. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the hottest and 1 being just pit bull walking backwards ugly, how would you rank Heather Locklear?
So 2 things. My wife is looking at me right now. So
More pressure.
I know.
number 2, I don't know who that is.
Oh, there you go. They got the
I
out.
told
They
you.
got the out.
Big Al. Big Al. My wife is the hottest.
That's the smart answer.
Yep.
That's the smart answer.
That's
So,
the 10.
all right, Rob, you want to try to chime in on Heather Locklear, or all you guys sitting there like going to be in trouble?
They asked me. That's why they call me the wild one, and I do love my wife, and then she's probably watching, and she's probably giggling herself. But Heather Locklear, I would say probably a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Big Al says you can look, but no touch. All right, so Kevin, Heather Locklear, 1 to 10.
10.
10. Tony, Heather Locklear, 1 to 10.
10.
Alex, Heather
10.
Locklear, 1 to 10. A 10?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get the answer like
I was in like middle school when she was on Spin
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, you know.
my
right
wife
around
is
that
watching
age.
too, Will. Like, listen, this is honest truth. My wife will not watch at all the entire show until Big Al pops up and asks a question. And it's always when she decides to click on the show. So I'm just gonna say, I love you, Amanda. You're the most beautiful thing in the world to me.
Atta boy.
Dead 10.
I didn't say nothing.
You held
He
that
signed
10.
No, it was a bug in the air that I was trying to knock out. Right there. It was a bug in the air right there. Okay, I give you the dumb answer 10. Doug Phillips said like that. Big Al, we love you. And I tell you what, I thoroughly enjoy watching Big Al do weigh-ins like that. So, Mr. There's the boom right there. And all you guys that say you can look at the menu, you just can't order. Yeah, y'all say that. That don't work with your wife. That doesn't work with your wife. And like, Will, listen, I've been married 30 years. I don't know, Richard, how long you guys been married like that?
Hey,
But
Hey, I got the my anniversary is this Sunday, and our tournament got moved to Sunday. So
hey, listen, my anniversary was a couple of weeks ago, and I ended up being in Miami at the Miami Boat Show doing some work for Digital Sportsman. So I'm right there with you. She hasn't forgiven me for that one yet.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah,
Richard.
happy anniversary. How long you been married? How long you been
me-
married?
it'll be 12 Sunday.
12 Sunday.
Yeah,
And then so Will, you just got married last year, right?
yeah, he's a newlywed.
He
Can I
hasn't been
just
a year yet.
Hey, watch this. I know what the answer is going to be. How's married life, Will?
It hasn't changed.
Look at him look.
Hey, he's already a daddy.
No. No.
He's got him a daughter puppy.
Oh, puppy. Okay, I was getting ready to say, do we need to drop an announcement right here like that? How long you been married, Rob?
A little bit over a year now.
Over a year. So
Wow.
go ahead and ask your question,
Hey,
Kevin.
Danny,
Yeah, I don't have a
Danny, are you
question.
ready? Are you ready?
What the?
There's
Look
Will's
at
daughter.
that. Look at that.
There's
Is
Will's
that
daughter.
what kind of dog is that?
A cute one.
Australian poodle. They're Aussie doodle.
Australian. Oh, good Lord.
Richard, my anniversary is Monday the 10th. 46 years.
Well, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Mine's
Birdie,
the 17th.
yeah. Kevin outpunted his coverage, though.
Mine's the 17th.
I did.
You did.
Mine's in
You did.
May.
Miss Terry is what?
Mine's the 17th. 21 years.
21 years?
Yep.
Y'all are babies.
Hey,
See, I was like, now look, y'all, everybody's calling Will cheap and all this kind of stuff in the comment section, all that. Y'all want the lamest thing in the world. Get married on Valentine's Day. And I did it for one reason and one reason only. I will never, ever forget my anniversary.
mine's
Huh?
on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, so you got to be smart.
Yep.
You got listen. We
Well-
guys don't remember nothing.
It was the day after I came back from overseas, so it was not, that was the option.
There you go, right there. All right, so yeah, Stephen Barday says good save. You know me there. Adam Mathis wants to know: any of you get into BFSs for bass? Get into the BF? God, good Lord! Any of you get into BFS for bass?
Use a spinning rod.
Instead of doing that, just go ahead and use the spinning rod.
100%.
I
Yeah.
agree with it.
I would.
I agree with him. I'm not taking him a spot in my rod locker for a bait caster that does what
Okay.
the spin reel does.
Rob, you and Richard, y'all don't do any of that, do you?
I don't even know what a BFS is.
That's those
finesse
bait
system.
casters that throw really light.
Like
Oh
40
yeah,
yards.
actually, ARC has one. Yeah, I don't ever want to use one. So
Use
no.
them super light
It's fun, man.
baits on a
Are
bait.
you explaining to Richard what it is?
I don't know what it is.
A lot of people use them for trout fishing.
Use them for what?
Trout fishing.
Yeah, I could see it being used for trout fishing.
Mhm.
Brad Silvers wants to know, and I know a couple of you guys have you fished Carters? And do you have any techniques on Carters for the spring? For those that don't know Carters, it's a lake up here. We're talking deep Highland Reservoir, like
Yeah,
deep,
so
deep.
Jerk bait and a jig head minnow.
Okay.
Everyone on Carter's, come springtime, they're running to the backs of the pockets and all. Get out on some of those main lake shoals, some of those main lake points in like 3 foot of water. And I promise you, more than likely, you will catch more big fish out there than running stuff everyone else does.
Okay, good answer right there. Put the camera on me. I want to show the guys our new thing. Watch this. If I give you a double thumbs up, watch the thing. Look at that. we don't even know why it does it now. It just does it. So I started doing that. So good answer, Will, on Carter's right there for sure. All right, Darren Moss wants to know, Rob, and I know this is the thing Rob does. How do you rig a fluke?
How do you rig a fluke?
How do you rig a fluke, Rob?
Well, actually, I did a YouTube thing with you, Danny. You remember how to rig a fluke? So you can go on Fish North Georgia on the YouTube channel and check how.
The boys froze up a little bit.
There you go.
Oh, there you. You're back.
Is it working?
You froze up, but that's fine. But yeah, we do have a video we made with you on that.
And that's now how I
Yeah,
fish
so it's how to rig a soft plastic fluke is if you just go ahead in the YouTube on Fish North Georgia, it shows you the technique of how to use it. And if you got any questions about specific soft plastics jerk baits, just DM me, message me. I will get you back in ample time and show you different colors, different schemes on what to use in different types of lakes around the country.
Yeah, it's a good video because he actually shows it.
Yes, it is.
How he does it. And you said you throw it that way
Yeah.
now because of that video?
Well, I started off fluke fishing last year, kind of getting into it over at Widowie. And the first couple times went out regular, lost a couple of fish. And I went, I remember a video. And so I looked on there and watched his technique, and that's exactly what I do now.
That's the way I throw it. I don't catch fish as good as he does with it, but that's the way I throw it. Far Dog. Do any of you guys use a small tungsten flipping weight in front of a full-size skinny dipper and throw it shallow over a spinnerbait?
That's Rob's question.
Do any of you guys use?
The hell's a skinny dipper?
It's a swim bait.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
little
okay.
swim bait. Now I don't really use a small tungsten throwing a skinny dipper. I don't use a skinny dipper. Bruiser Bait has a Super Swimmer Junior or Super Swimmer, and then the new Rampage that we just came out. So I don't even do a screw lock. I just tie a big 6/0 wide gap hook owner or Gamakatsu. I don't really like the torque cars because they're so sharp that they cut the bait pretty easily. So you have to just use a bunch of baits if you're going to use that specific hook. But yeah, I don't really use any weights on that at all. So that's my answer.
Okay. Coleman Jones wants to know if any of you guys ever throw a scrounger.
Yeah, we do. We do back on Pickwick.
Okay. What do you throw on the back of it?
Just a swim bait.
Just a regular paddle tail?
Yeah, just a regular paddle tail. I mean,
Okay.
depending on the current, it's going to depend on the weight size.
Okay. Now I got a question for me. This is 100% for me. In 2 weeks, I got an electric only tournament on a lake called Hickory Log over here. It's about 400 acres. It's a largemouth lake. Primarily, it's got some thread fin in it, but its brim, I would say, is the biggest thing. A lot of the lake's shallow, a lot of the lake's deep, so it's kind of half and half. If you've never seen this lake before, but knowing what I just told you, and it being the last weekend of March, in your mind, what techniques are you going to approach that lake with?
Are you
'Cause it's
fishing
got a
this
little bit of
lake?
everything. Huh?
Are you fishing this lake?
Hell yeah, and we ain't got no info rule.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I'm just curious how you guys would approach a lake like that.
Throw a glide bait.
Throw a glide bait.
Yeah.
But now, Will, this is a tournament. Will said that's overrated. So I got to get my 5 in the boat, and then I can throw the glide bait. So once I do that, I'll throw the glide. But to get 5 decent largemouth bass at the end of March,
Scope or
in
no
the
scope?
boat, no scope. Not that we can't use it. I just don't have it on my electric rig. I got a 360, and that's it.
Brim
Yeah,
colored
turn
bass.
off all your graphs for that event. Go to the bank. Those fish, they move up a lot sooner than most people realize. So they're going to be, they may not be on beds, but they will be in that 3 to 6 foot range. Just get up there, throw, if it's windy, throw a spinner bait, chatter bait, wacky rig if it's calm, anything like that. Just I wouldn't go deeper than 6 foot probably.
Okay. I will store that in my memory bank right there. Adam Mathis. It's a good question for you guys. When you're not getting bit, do you change areas or bait/techniques, or just go with the gut feeling depending on the day?
So I'm going to take Lanier for an example, just because most of y'all are from that area. We all know the southern end is typically where your bigger fish are, but some days it does not fire. So that you can run back up to that Browns Bridge area, to the Chestatee area. If I don't have a fish at 1 o'clock, I'm running back up there to scrounge up a limit. Typically, those northern fish bite a lot easier. So typically, it's an area change or over a bait change, but you just got to go with what the conditions are.
So are you Rob? Are you more quick to change or to move?
Move. I mean, if I'm confident with a specific pattern, then I'll just move until I get a specific area for them to bite. If I have to run, 40, 50 spots a day, like let's say Hartwell, for instance, when we fished Hartwell last year, these guys probably did the same thing. We ran like 60, 70 spots a day. And then there might be like maybe 10 spots out of the 60 we ran that produced. And then the next day, we go back and thinking those 10 spots produce, and there'll be the other 10 that produce, So it's especially herring lakes, for instance, it's always run and gun. They're going to bite. It depends on the time of the year. They're going to bite that specific pattern, but it might not be that specific spot. So that's why you have to run and gun.
Okay, what about you? Stay on the move. So you're more quick to move than you are to change the bait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, if you put your homework in and it was producing during your homework, then you need to be moving. Something's not firing at that time,
okay.
and don't take it out that just because they didn't fire that morning that they won't fire that afternoon.
Good. You got something, Tony?
So how long are you giving an area? Like if you say, let's say no forward facing, how long are you giving an area before you say, yep, we're done? Like 15 casts, 15 minutes, what are you doing?
Yeah, because you guys are going to be dealing with that now.
That's a big difference between scope and no scope on that question, because
no scope.
We've had scope the last 3 years, and this week covering water is a lot more time consuming now. So I'm gonna say 15 minutes to 30 minutes per area.
Okay.
Yeah, we can kind of go off of that question now, because now you got to go in with a different mindset.
Yeah.
How is that going to change your fishing? Because like you just mentioned, Rob, 40, 50, 60 spots a day. Now, and you're going in, you're dropping your scope, you're looking, it's there, you fish it. If it's not, you go into the next one. All three of you can answer this question. How is your fishing going to change this year without the scope?
You got to slow down in your high percentage areas.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, do your homework. The areas that the tournaments are typically won in. What typically goes on. You just got to milk places a little longer. Get creative with it. You can change a little bit. But as far as the area things go without scope, I'm going to give an area if we're talking about a pretty big area, I'll give it several hours before changing and pulling the plug and going to do something else. You just got to milk it a little longer.
What about you, Rob?
I do the same approach. For instance, in this tournament itself, we all three know what's the deal going on at the moment, and so we know we just have to be patient, and it'll come to us in fruition. It just and then different lakes, different times of the year, it's just kind of the same thing. We just had to, with the no scope, we had to grind it out. Simple as that, and there's fish there. It just, you're not seeing them at the very moment at all the times, and scoping them out. You just have to just grind it out. If they're not biting that specific bait, maybe change it up, change the cadence. That's really a big thing as well. These fish they can get very predictable, but at the same time, they can humble you very quick.
All right, next question. And this is for me too. So, yeah, it is. Listen, guys, I'm being greedy tonight. So, but I am curious. So, with the scope, you're offshore fishing, you're shaking a minnow. We know the game. Now, when you get to lake and you know that they're offshore, are you going to use different techniques, such as now maybe more drop shot, more this with the 2D? How are you going to change your offshore game without a scope?
Really, mine won't change much. I will still probably throw a minnow a little bit, but it's just all going to be structure related now. Most of the time, if we're going to talk offshore around our places, it's going to be brush piles. If we're talking about linear no scope, that's easy. You can still run 50 spots a day, chunking a fluke, chunking a topwater, doing that deal. But we're talking about, especially largemouth lakes, structure related lakes. I'll usually always throw a worm in there, whether that be a drop shot or a magnum worm, whatever. Still going to throw a minnow a little bit. So it really doesn't change much. You just got to get really precise with your waypoint management and your casts.
Okay, that's a good
During
answer.
the tournament, are you scanning more with your electronics, your 2D, side scan, down scan during the tournament? Do you spend a lot of time doing that, or you just go to your areas and fish them?
I go to my area. I don't do the side scan thing and stuff. That's a waste of time for me. I just grind. Simple as that. I cast as many times just put it this way. I've cast more times in the last 3 days of practice than I cast all last year. So,
Gotcha.
just because it's the no scope thing. But yeah, it's, I just grind it out, and you can sit there and scan all you want and attack those areas. But if you're going to have a higher percentage of casting than you sit there and side scan and drag a worm or whatever the case may be.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys a few more questions because I know you guys got to get up early in the morning. So if you don't mind, Far Dogs is going to be the last question because I don't want to keep these guys up, but I got 3 questions for you. Number 1, do you know anything about Lake Russell? Got Darian Moss is going to be fishing at March 22nd. Same thing I asked about Hickory Log. Put him in the money. What does he need to be thrown on Lake Russell March 22nd?
Same thing. Go shallow. That lake is an awesome whopper plopper lake. You will catch a ton of fish. Super fun lake. But anytime late March, early April, you got to be shallow. You got to be looking for those on beds, looking for cruisers. So that's all you got to do.
Okay. You guys agree with that?
100%. Yep. I mean, I like to throw big bait. So, what I would do, throw glide bait, throw the Cinco, the chatterbait, the big old walking dog, popper, a black whopper popper. So, yeah.
Okay.
Big baits produce big fish. So.
That's right. Doug Phillips wants to know what kind of electronics are each of you using?
Humminbird.
Okay.
I've got Humminbirds, 360 and mapping at the front, and then your normal mapping, side scan, all that at the console.
I got Humminbird and Lowrance, and I use the Active Target for my live scope, Active Target 2 for the Lowrance. And I like the Humminbird. I like the Lake Master. The map settings on there is unbelievable because you can do the water offset. And I like Lowrance, the C map. I mean, I like to have different options because some maps show different things than the other. So it's good to kind of have a balance of different things.
Okay. All right, and then Far Dog, this will be the last question of the night. How much will the understanding of down scan and side scan dominate this year in the NPFL? How much of a role do you think it will play?
It's going to play a lot. Earlier when you asked a couple questions ago, I mean, I depend on my electronics still to, for trying to find structure, what's going on the brakes, the contour lines and stuff like that. I'm still looking for structure because to me, that's where your higher percentage is going to be. I'm still depending on them.
I think you guys will be shocked how often these events are still going to be one offshore. These same guys are going to be competing out there. The fish haven't gone anywhere. It's not like they all magically moved to the bank without sonar. They're still going to be out there. Even this week, you might see some guys flipping some trees, but a lot of these guys will be fishing some offshore grass, stuff like that. So you really got to dial in your side scan, your down scans, all that good stuff.
Okay. For those, I said that was the last question, but this is for everybody. The NPFL is changing where you can watch this year. So for guys that want to follow you tomorrow through Sunday, how can we find the NPFL anywhere?
The NPFL page on Facebook, YouTube, and there's maybe TikTok. There is a possibility of TikTok, and there's one more. I can't remember what it was, but Facebook NPFL page is supposed to be broadcasted there and YouTube for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, NPFL has obviously all the platforms. It's got TikTok now. It's got Instagram, Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. So also too, if somebody wants to follow you guys specifically on your social media, Rob, we'll start with you and work across. Where can they find you at?
You can find me at Wroblewski on Facebook. Same thing with Instagram, Rob Wroblewski Fishing. TikTok, Rob Wroblewski 10 on there. YouTube, I haven't really done much on YouTube, but I do have a couple of videos on there. If you're bored one night, you can go ahead and check that out. I probably wouldn't want to check that out, but but yeah, that's just me. But yeah, I'm on all those platforms as well. I've been doing a lot of giveaways this year. So every month I've been doing giveaways. So if you guys are interested in trying to get involved with that, it's just to help me this year to try to get more followers as well. I've been posting a lot of videos and stuff like that every day, just to trying to get that followership up. So I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaways this year. So stay tuned with the next one I'm going to be doing. I'll be announcing the giveaway of Arc rod, that one of my favorite Arc rods, a couple of bruiser bait packs of Omega, and then a Grind for 5 hat as well. And then the next giveaway is going to be really, really cool. So just stay tuned. Follow me, help me out. I'm doing the best I can. My approach this year is to help others without expecting a return, because God has a plan for me. And then I'm just, hoping that it follows, and hopefully these guys right here kind of follow the same path.
Hey, I love it. And listen, size 2X, that sweatshirt. I'd love to have one of those.
You got it. I got you on.
2X, baby. All right, Will, what about you?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Will Harkins Fishing. Nothing fancy. I may zero every tournament this year and be a wash up next year, but we're gonna go out there, have fun this year, and see what happens.
I love it. What about you, Richard?
Well, I'm old school and I'm not quite into social media, but Richard Ke on Facebook and Instagram. But the biggest thing I'm pushing is the Money Saver, my product, and these guys have really been helping me. But I will give Rob a shout out. He has he's helped trying to teach me with this social media stuff, and he is going strong. It's everything I'm seeing about Rob this year on that is 100% in the right direction, and bringing some good positive stuff to the house, and helping all of us in that aspect. So hopefully he can help the old school out in that aspect.
I love it. Now, Crankin' and Yankin said, isn't it also on their website? So the NPFL, maybe, is it going to be on their website as well?
Yes.
Okay, so that was that other thing right there. So listen, you guys know I love you guys. Y'all, I root for y'all every time. I hope y'all go out there and kick everybody's ass. I don't care which one you finish 1, 2, and 3, but I would love today to see you guys 1, 2, and 3. But seriously, you guys got a tournament tomorrow, got a lot on the line, and you took the time to come hang out with us tonight. And I can't thank you guys enough for doing that. And you guys are always a class act every time you come on. And we wish you guys the best of luck this year. And like I said, I hope you I know you got a lot of new blood coming over there. I'm still going to root for my NPFL guys right there. So I hope you guys do really, really good. And Richard, when you get back next week, I need to get some more than money savers for the show. I mean, for the store.
Yes, sir.
We'll do that. So, Tony, you did a great job tonight. I know you're under the weather back there.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't too bad.
Hey, you kicked butt.
Appreciate it.
Alex, they talk so much. We didn't get you a ton of questions for your first time on. But listen, it's great to listen. When the guests are good, you don't need to ask a ton of questions when they're listening to that. And
Boy, hell, you talk so damn much.
me? I told you, tell me shut up. I
does.
You did talk a lot, Danny, but that's good.
Hey, it's the only superpower I got.
He doesn't get to talk at home much.
No, my wife don't let me talk at home. So you guys tell your significant others that we also said thank you to them for allowing you guys to do what you do, and for us taking a couple minutes of their time with you guys tonight. So y'all go kick some butt, and we're gonna follow you guys this weekend. And I'm gonna text each one of you after each day to see what kind of mood you're in. So you better answer me. How about that? Yeah, Will, especially you. Okay, don't be pouting this weekend.
We're having pom-poms.
That's right. So you guys mean a lot to us here at Fish North Georgia. Thanks for spending some time with us. So
Thank you.
No, thank you for having us.
all right. Hey guys, another great show. You guys in the comment section were absolutely awesome. And we'll have another one next Tuesday night. Ryan Sheffield's gonna be back in the house with us. And so we'll talk about what went on this weekend. Hopefully we can announce that one of our buddies right there won it and or had a good thing. But go check out the NPFL. It's a class act organization, and totally hope they do well. And T-Times, appreciate the stream and everything, the compliment. You guys, if you're fishing this weekend, as always, number one, be safe out there. Number one, be safe. Enjoy your time out there, and we will catch you next week. So appreciate you guys. See you later.